First topic, ecstatic chanting. Today's spiritual food for holy name is: in Kali Yuga, chanting of the holy name is the most feasible means of salvation. In great jubilation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My clear Swarupa Damodar and Ramananda Rai know from me that chanting of the holy names is the most feasible means of salvation in this Kali Yuga." This is explained by Srila Prabhupada in Sri Namamrita book and by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Antelila 20.8 verse. So, Hare Krishna, all the devotees. I welcome all you on the early morning call today. May I know who is on the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Surinder Bandari from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Surendra Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and your wonderful chanting.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees on this call. This is Geeta from Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Gita Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and a beautiful chanting.
Hare Krishna, this is Vinod Maheshwari from Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Vinod Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and opening the call for chanting and your wonderful chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. This is Radha Seva from Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Hare Krishna, Radha Seva Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Pranita and Sandeep from Ashburn, Virginia.
Hare Krishna, Pranita Mataji and Sandeep Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining. So, Hare Krishna, I see Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu joined. So, Hare Krishna. Yes, and Sandeep Prabhu joining first time to our call. So, let us welcome Sandeep Prabhu by chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Sandeep Prabhu. Then welcome to the call. And yes, so today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu from York, Pennsylvania. And Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, 7th canto, 13th chapter, and 44 verse and onwards. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please welcome to the call and please take over the call now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjan Shalakya Chakshurunimilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devai Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advait Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jaya Mudire. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नष्टकी शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तना हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम् कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः गोविंदाय नमो नमः गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna devotees, we are reading from chapter 7, canto 7, chapter 13, verse 44. So Shyamarasika Mataji, can we share that verse so that
Yes,
we can
Prabhuji.
together?
I posted on group also, but yeah, I'll give the access to share on. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you can share screen now.
Yeah, one second. Okay. आत्मानुभूतौ तां मायाम् जुहुयाति सत्यदृक्मुनिः ततो निरीहो विर्मेत् स्वानुभूत्यात्मनि स्थिता आत्मानुभूतौ तां मायाम् जुहुयात् सत्यदृक्मुनिः ततो निरीहो विर्मेत् स्वानुभूत्यात्मनि स्थिता. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Can everyone see the verse on the screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see it.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. A learned, thoughtful person must realize that material existence is illusion. This is possible only by self-realization. A self-realized person who has actually seen the truth should retire from all material activities, being situated in self-realization. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. By an analytical study of the entire constitution of the body, one can surely come to the conclusion that the soul is different from all the body's material constituents, such as earth, water, fire, and air. Thus, the difference between the body and soul can be realized by a person who is thoughtful, Manisi or Muni. And after this realization of the individual spirit soul, one can very easily understand the supreme soul, supreme spirit soul. If one thus realizes that the individual soul is subordinate to the supreme spirit soul, he achieves self-realization. As explained in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there are two souls within the body. The body is called Kshetra, and there are two Kshetrajñas, or occupants of the body, namely the super soul, Paramatma, and the individual soul. The super soul and the individual soul are like two birds sitting on the same tree, the material body. One bird, the individual forgetful bird, is eating the fruit of the tree, not caring for the instructions of the other bird, which is only a witness to the activities of the first bird, who is his friend. When the forgetful bird comes to understand the supreme friend, who is always with him and trying to give him guidance in different bodies, he takes shelter at the lotus feet of the supreme bird. As explained in the yoga process, dhyana vasthita tadgaten manasa pashyanti yam yogina. When one actually becomes a perfect yogi, by meditation he can see the supreme friend and surrender unto him. This is beginning of bhakti yoga, or actual life in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. So this is very nice verse, series of verses Atma Atmanubhutau tam mayam duhyati satdrak muni tato niriho virme tvanubhutyatmani sthita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, this is the series of verses where Prahlad Maharaj is talking or having a conversation with this Avadut Brahman. Avadut or is a saintly person. So Avadut Brahmin, and Prahlad Maharaj at this time, he already had perfected his life, perfected himself. He said that he perfected his life. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smarnam. He says Smarnam through Smarnam. So out of one of the Navvidha Bhakti, Vishnu Smarnam. So Prahlad Maharaj is perfected his life through Vishnu Smarnam. And he also had the darshan of the Lord Narsingdev. He had the darshan of the Lord. He had perfected himself. So he is a self-realized soul himself, self-realized person. But the Prahlad Maharaj is on a tour to find out the qualities or person or the characteristics of a pure devotee, or characteristics of, in this particular chapter, the name of the chapter is the behavior of a perfect person. So behavior of a perfect person, in the previous chapters, Sukdev Goswami has described the duties, occupational duties of brahmachari and vanaprasthis. And in the next chapter, he's going to describe the occupational duties of grahasthas, ideal grahasthas. But in this chapter, he's describing the duties of a sannyasi. And sannyasi, so here, that is or sannyasi or a perfect person. So sannyasi is, sannyas is, there are different stages of sannyas. So sannyasi has, there are 4 stages in sannyas or sannyasis. It's called Kutichaka. Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajak and Paramhansa. The Kutichaka is when someone accepts the sannyas or renunciation, and the first thing what he does, or in the Vedic culture, the sannyasi used to live outside his village in a small cottage, and the food was supplied by his family, but he's living close to his family. The initial stages, the food is supplied from his family. So this stage was helping him to transition from the household life to the renunciant life. After that, he moves on to Bahudaka stage. Bahudaka stage means Bahu is many. The sannyasi begins to beg food. He's going out and begging food. And he stops accepting the food from his family, and he starts going out begging for the alms, begging for the food from multiple households. And that means, that meant, or that symbolizes that his detachment from any single source for his sustenance. The third is Parivrajacharya. Parivrajacharya is the traveling sannyasi, Parivrajacharya. So it says traveling sannyasi. So he starts traveling. It's the next stage is Parivrajacharya, and he starts traveling and preaching. And Then the last stage is Paramahansa. The Paramahansa stage, he has completed his preaching work and now he settles down at one place to focus solely on his the Lord. So Paramahansa is that considered that he has achieved the self-realization, spiritual realization, and he has self-control. He is a self-realized person. So Paramahansa. So here in this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami is through the conversation of Brahman and Prahlad Maharaj, he is talking about describing the characteristics of a perfect person, Paramhansa. So at the Paramhansa stage, like no, so these are self-realized persons. And Brahman is said he's an avdhut. Avdhut means that when someone is called avdhut, means he's at that level where he's not strictly following the regulations. He's not strictly following the regulations because he has already graduated from the sense level of regulation. In our stage, because we are following the Vadi Bhakti or Vidhi Bhakti or we are still in the process of getting purified. Gradually, we are getting purified by following these regulations, following this Vidhi Bhakti, the process, four regulative principles and chanting and all that. And this is Vidhi Bhakti. And slowly, then person graduates from Vidhi Bhakti, goes on to the natural, spontaneous attraction for the Lord. That is Raga Nuga Bhakti. And then it's a Bhav Bhakti and Prem Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti is the topmost. So there are four types of bhaktis. So we have Vadi Bhakti, Raga Nuga Bhakti, and then we move on to Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So Raga Bhakti starts after the Anarth Nivritti stage. So in a Raga Bhakti, when we advance from Vidhi Bhakti and go to Raga Nuga Bhakti, after a certain level, we are natural. We have natural attraction or love for the Lord. So we have we are thinking about the Lord all the time. So that is that stage. We don't have to follow. We may or we may not, but we don't have to follow this regulations because we are graduated above that level. So that is avadhut. And in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, and we all know that our Nityanand Prabhu is often described as avadhut. When we read this introduction prayers or Mangala Charan in Bhagavad Gita, which is Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. So Savadhutam, Sa Avadhutam, so that refers to Nityanand Prabhu. So Nityanand Prabhu was one of the Avadhuts. So Avadhuts are at that stage that they are not required. They are not required to follow the regulations of the process of bhakti. So in this, so now this chapter is coming close to the end. There are only 2 verses left. And Prahlad Maharaj, who is himself a self-realized soul, he had met this Brahmin, Avadhut Brahmin, who was just lying, and he was living a life of that, it's called Ajagar Vritti. Ajagar Vritti, or the lifestyle of a python. Python, Ajgar. Ajgar is like kind of snake. It's a huge, big, fat, long snake, like very heavy. You might have seen in the zoo. You'll see this ajgar, ajagar vritti. Ajagar, and this ajagar or ajagar is very lazy animal, lazy snake. He just lies down. He does not do anything for his sustenance. Whatever comes to him, or whatever other animals come near him, he just eats them, and that is how he survives. Like, he does not go out and look for food, and he does not do anything. So this is called ajagar vritti. Ajagar vritti is like lifestyle or function. Ajagar is of a python. So he said this Avadhut Brahmin was living a lifestyle of an Ajagar or Ajagar Vritti. So Ajagar Vritti, so Avadhut was completely retired from material life. He was a self-realized person. He was lying down, and whatever he used to get by just sitting at his own place, if the people will come and give him something to eat, he'll eat. If he did not get anything to eat that day, he will just fast. He will just fast that day. So it was, he was completely dependent on the Lord, on the arrangement of the Lord for his sustenance. The Lord wants me to remain alive. I'm alive here. He'll send some food and I'll eat that food. If he doesn't send anything, I'll go hungry. So that is called, that is the stage this Avadhut Brahmin was. So he was a self-realized soul. So now in this verse, we talk, it says, a learned, thoughtful person must realize that material existence is illusion. So if you, we are all learned on this call, we are all thoughtful persons. If we start thinking about this material existence, thinking about your own experience, thinking about your own journey from your childhood to whatever stage you are, and start analyzing, start thinking about, like, this is we all, like, we all, including me, we all have been chasing after this material happiness, right? Is that not true? Everyone in this world, that is the goal, to we are chasing after this material, after chasing after the happiness. But unfortunately, we don't know anything better than our material happiness. We are chasing after this material happiness, but we have our efforts have been again and again and again been frustrated, because we are trying to control the material energy to become happy. So that is, and this material happiness is not what, we don't know what we are looking for. We are not, when we come to Krishna consciousness, when we come to, then we understand that why we have not been happy so far. Why have not been, we have been searching for happiness. We have been chasing after this happiness since our childhood, but we have not been happy. We have not been happy, or we have not satisfied yet. We have not satiated yet. We have not found that happiness. So, and we are still looking for that happiness, and we are still looking for that happiness. So by the Prabhupada, in the translation, this verse is saying, a learned, thoughtful person must realize that material existence is illusion. So if we are searching, we are continuously, we think we are all like very intelligent, hardworking, thoughtful, learned persons. And even if we are not able to find that happiness after all these years in our life, right now, we're continuously looking for it, and we are still not satisfied, we have still not found it, we continuously, we're still in that search, and we'll continue. Everyone continues that search till he leaves his body. So is this is an illusion. So that is what this verse is saying. We can easily understand that there's this happiness, or this happiness through the matter, happiness through the interacting with the matter. That is what we are changing. We don't know anything better than that, and that we are not finding it. So this is that not an illusion? So this is the verse is saying, yes, that is illusion. That's the biggest illusion, that everyone here is trying to find happiness here. But we somehow we believe that it is here. We believe that, okay, last time in the last effort, I probably I did not do this right, and that's why I failed. Let me try it again. And then you'll say, okay, our neighbors are happy, our relatives are happy, our so and so friend is happy, our manager is happy, like, no, wow, I am not doing something right, and that's why everyone else is happy, but I'm not happy. So this is the story of everyone. Like, this is we believe it that happiness is here, and we see around, and you see the grass is greener on the other side. So we see that others are happy, but we are not happy. But if we go closer to anyone, everyone has the same story. Like, no one is happy because there's no happiness here. We are found is just an illusion of happiness. We are just this the whole material world is an illusion. Like this illusion, this Maya Devi has created this illusion through the external energy of the Lord, and we're trying to manipulate that material energy to become happy. So we're trying to find the happiness through the interaction with the matter. Like Mammaya Duratya Mayevi Hi Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite, Bhagavad Gita. So we keep on thinking that I've not been successful in the past, but I will be next time. And we keep in that hope that we'll become fully satisfied, fully happy. We keep on trying, keep on trying. And by our good fortune, we stumble upon some devotee and we are connected to some spiritual process, like we come to temple, we come to ISKCON, we start reading Bhagavad Gita, we start reading Srimad Bhagvatam, start attending this everyday chant classes, and then we realize, oh, so we were not what we are looking for. We're not looking at the right place. We are not looking at the right place. There is happiness, and it's natural for, we are not this body, we are the soul. So it's natural for the soul, but the soul is the part and parcel of the Lord. Mamai Vanshe Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So, and that's why it's natural for the soul to find that to be happy, to Satchidananda, because Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is the Vigraha, Ananda. Ananda is that ultimate bliss. So this is, we are also like part and parcel of the Lord. It's natural for the soul to find that, to looking for or finding to be happy. And not only this temporary material happiness, but unlimitedly happy, the spiritual happiness, which is called ananda or bliss. So this is that natural for the soul, but because we have not been looking for that happiness at the right place. So even the material scholars or scientists, like you see, they study about these illusions in this world, and they are to some they are even able to understand or expose some of these worldly illusions to some degree. But even then they remain subjected to same illusion and never reach at the right conclusion. Why is that? Prahlad Maharaj says, there's a nice verse in Prayers of Prahlad Maharaj in chapter 9, seventh canto, chapter 9, 7, 9, I think it's verse 25. The Kutra Shisha Truti Sakha Mragatrasni Nirupa. Kutra Shisha Truti Sukha Mragatrasni Nirupa. Vedam Kalevaram Ashesh Rujam Viroha. Nirvidyate Natu Jano Yadpit Vidwan. Kamanalam Madhulavai Shamayandurapai. Kutra Shisha. This is Prahlad Maharaj is saying in his prayers to Narsingadev. So he's saying to Narsingadev, Kutra Shisha, where is that benediction of that happy? Where is that happiness like now? Shruti Sukha. Shruti means we have heard of that happiness. So material, like we have heard of that happiness, but where is that happiness? There's no, it means he says Kutra Shisha, means there's no happiness here in this material world. And whatever little happiness we think, or drop of happiness, what we think is happiness, is Mrag Trashni Rupa. Mrag Trashni Rupa. Mrag is deer, Trashni is the Mrag Trashni Rupa is a mirage in the desert. Just like we give an example of that deer, the mirage in the desert. Mirage, the deer thinks there's the water in the desert. He runs after that water, but there's no water. It's just a mirage. It's just an illusion of water there. Same thing in this material world. There's no happiness. There's a mirage of happiness. There is a mirage, and we are all running after. We are chasing after. We are working hard. Like, no, this is run after that mirage, so that we'll become happy one day. So there is no happiness. So that is what Prahlad Maharaj is saying. Kvedam. And how can we find, or how can we be happy in this body, through our body? We are trying to become happy just through this body. He says, Kvedam Kalevaram. Qua idam Kalevaram, this body, Ashes, unlimited. Ruzam is the source of. Ruzam is diseases. Viro is source of diseases. So this body itself is falling apart every day. We are every day, this body is falling apart like now. This is, and this body, Prahlad Maharaj saying, this body is source of all the diseases, diseases. How can we be happy through this body? Is source of all the diseases like. And we might realize it better probably when we are getting old. Maybe young age, we don't realize that much, that how this body is the source of all the diseases. But once we start getting old or getting, then we'll see that how this one after other, these diseases keep on coming like now. So we keep on visiting doctors like now. It's very, very, very rare nowadays to see that, to find a person or meet someone who has not seen the doctor. Everyone has some or the other problem. Whether anyone like, this is the nature of this body. Whether the devotee or non-devotee doesn't matter. Devotee or non-devotee doesn't matter. Like, there's people who are exercising or living in very healthy, eating healthy and living a healthier life. They might have less problems. Everyone has the problem. Everyone has the problem. Everyone is seeing the doctor for something or else. So that is what Prahlad Maharaj is saying. This is how this body has been designed. This is how this body is the matter. It's matter, and this matter goes through those 6 stages. It starts falling apart. It starts falling apart. Because we are moving towards at some point, we are moving towards our death. So death, we are approaching our death. So slowly, the body will be falling apart. So Kvedam Kalevaram Ashesh Rujam Viroha. So Kalevaram, this Kalevaram is Ashesh, unlimited. The word used here is unlimited. Unlimited source of all the diseases, like unlimited source of all the diseases. So they keep on coming one after the other, one after the other. We keep on, and we see that. We experience that, but we are in illusion. So we just ignore that. Like now, we become happy. We are happy seeing others who are more diseased than you. Then you think, okay, I'm good. Like now, I'm still taking only 2 medicines. I know this person is taking like 8 tablets every day. I'm just taking 2. But it's just a comparative thing. Like no, but we all have the same issue, same problem. Nirvidyate natu jano yad pit vidwan. Nirvidyate. We are never satiated. We are never satisfied with this we are never natu jano yad pit vidwan. I mean, these scholars and scientists and this they're never satisfied. Because why they're not satisfied? In the kamanalam madulavai shamayandurape. So kamanalam. So they're trying to kama. It's like you might have heard the word davanal. Sansara davanalli diloka. So same thing, kamanal. Anal is fire. Kam is the fire of desires, the fire of our kama, fire of our material desires. It's a huge fire of material desires, which where we are trying to put out that fire with madhulavai, with a drop of water or drop of, we are trying to satisfy our huge desire. So the drop of madhu is honey. Madhu lavai, the drop of honey, and which doesn't work. That's like this is whether we are after all these effort, even if we see that material happiness, a drop of that material happiness, which keeps us going. That is the that is not really happiness, but that we consider that happiness, but it's a drop, and our fire of desire is so huge, like no, that cannot be put out by just we are trying all this with scholars and scientists. They're just trying to satisfy or put out that fire, kama nal. They're trying to put out that fire with just one drop of that water or honey. Shamayandurape, because but they are not able to do it. Why? Why they are not able to do it? Because this fire is so huge. Why this fire so huge? Because they're not able to control their senses. They're not able to control their senses. Unless when you're able to control their, unless one is able to control their senses, it's not possible. And controlling the senses is only possible through self-realization. Self-realization. So this verse is Prahlad Maharaj is saying we are not able to control this. These scientists and all these scholars like now. So this is what they do. They try to analyze everything, analyze the matter. They try to analyze and manipulate the matter, and they write big papers on that. Then they have a conference. And they'll have the conference at a very nice, beautiful place, a nice city, and so they can attract more people. They present those papers in that conference, and the evening they go and party. They drink. In the evening they go and drink like now. In the daytime they're presenting those papers on how we are living in illusion, how to expose this illusion and all that like now. And then in the evening they go and drink like so. Because they don't know anything better than that. Because they don't know why they are doing that. Because they are trying to find the material solutions of the material problems. And our Shastra says material problems cannot be solved with the material solution. They make the material solutions make that problem more complicated. They'll make the problem even more complicated than before, than when you started to solve that problem. So they're trying because they don't know anything. They don't, or they don't know, or they don't even, they're not even trying to know. Like they don't have faith. They don't have faith. They're not even trying to know. They don't know any better. So they're trying to solve the material problems through matter, like so material problems, and they're trying to find material solution that makes the problem more complicated. Material problems can only be solved through spiritual solutions like now. But they are not, they don't have that process. They don't have that Krishna conscious process. They don't know anything. They don't have that higher knowledge. It's adhyatmic gyan, the higher knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. They don't have that spiritual knowledge. So whatever they have, they're just trying to solve their problems. And out of their false ego, they think, yes, they can one day are going to solve that problem. They have not done till date. They have not done till date. After hundreds of years of this research and everything, We still get sick, we still get old, we still get all the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi still coming. This will we keep on suffering with Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, and our Adhyatmik Adi Devik and Adi Bhautik miseries. But somehow, like after these hundreds and thousands of years of their research of these scientists or materialistic people, they think they are not like it has gotten worse now. It's not even they are advancing. It's gotten worse now. Like we're probably in the earlier days, like when we were growing up, people did not get so much of sick, so much of diseases like, but now it is getting worse. But they think that they are making progress. So this verse is saying that with self-realization. It says like why Muni or thoughtful person, a scholar, they should first realize that this world is an illusion. Once you have realized that this world is an illusion, then the next step is what you should do. You should start like once you know that this world is an illusion, it will become self-realized. Or once you start by your analytical process, you can Sankhya like that analyzes all the elements, and they come to at least by jnana, you can come to that stage where you can see that how we are different than the body. How there's something called soul inside the body, which is running the body. It's not the body itself. And once we understand that yes, this is soul and body, we are and the soul is separate than the body. Your soul is not. But scientists, when a thoughtful person can come to that understanding. So Prabhupada says in this purport, once you come to that understanding that we are body, we are not the soul, we are separate, we are other than the body, we are not the body. All the problems come from our assuming that we are this body, me and mine. We are aham mameti. We are this body, and anything connected with this body is mine. So this is, once we come to that stage, then it's very easy. And with coming to that stage, it becomes self-realized. So that is called become self-realized. And when you come to that stage, then you have understood, we have experienced, we have understood the soul. And when you have understood the soul, it's easy to understand the super soul, Paramatma sitting in our heart. And then and at that stage, we become detached. We understand the nature of this body, and we become detached from the body, and we are situated, and we understand our relationship with the Lord. And that is where when our bhakti starts, when a real pure bhakti starts, when we are self-realized, when we are Brahman platform. Mam chayo avyabicharena bhakti yogena sevte sa gulan samti taitan Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. We come to that Brahman platform when we become self-realized, when we realize that who am I? I'm a soul, super soul, and what is my sambandha? What is my constitutional position? What my sambandha? Jiver swarupa hoye nitya krishna das. So that is when we are at that is called self-realization. And then the Shuddha Bhakti, the pure Bhakti starts from there. Right now, what we are doing is not pure Bhakti, but we are gradually progressing. Bhakti is not about this 0 or 100%. Like, no, we are slowly progressing. We all are gradually, whatever stage we are on, we are slowly progressing towards our goal will be. So that is what this verse is talking about. This is another point brought out in this verse is Mayam. So Maya is like, and the Prabhupada is translated false ego of material existence. So Maya, if one can, so Maya is like false ego. The Maya is all this because about false ego. We We are in this Maya. We are influenced by this external energy just because of our false ego of material existence. That false ego is pervading everything. Whatever we do, like you see the from morning till evening, false ego is pervading in everything. False ego is our identification. But it is false. It is called false ego because it's a wrong identification. We identifying with this body, and that's identifying with this body is the cause of this wrong identification. And so we have to give up this false ego. We have to give up this wrong identification, misidentification. We think we are engineer, we are doctor, we are managers, we are this so and so. We based on our body relationship, like bodily relationship based on our body, based on our all that is a wrong identification. The true identification is we are servants. We are eternal servants of the Lord. We are Mamai Vanshe Jiv Loke, Jiv Bhuta Sanatana. We are eternal servants of the Lord. This is Jiver Swarupa Hoy Krishna. That is our real identification. Because we are wrongly identifying it, we are misidentified ourselves. That is the cause of all the problems, and that is why it's called false ego. And not only that, we have misidentified ourselves, but we are in that ahankar, that mithya ahankar, it's ego. It brings us like, oh, I'm the manager, so and manager in this company, I'm the director in this company, so I'm a big man, like no. So we think like no, this is. Or we may have ahankar of Janma Ashwara Shruti Sri, like Kunti Maharani is saying in her prayer. Janma Ashwara Shruti Shri Bhir, Eta Mada Mada Puman. So all that, our identification with the body brings that false ego. And when our consciousness is filtered through that false ego, because we filtered through that wrong identification or misidentification, that is called chitta. It is contaminated consciousness, and it is consciousness is polluted by our false ego. And for that, right, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the process, Cheto Darpana Marjana Moho Mahadavagni. All that process of chanting, process of bhakti, that purifies that consciousness. Juyati says one must sacrifice. This verse is saying that Juyati means one must sacrifice. So what we have to sacrifice? We have to sacrifice our false ego. So, and even to enjoy in this world, we need that false ego. Without false ego with misidentifying ourselves means like a wrong identification means forgetting Krishna. If we remember Krishna, you cannot if you identify yourself as the servant of Krishna, eternal servant of Krishna and part and parcel of the Lord, so you don't forget Krishna. Even to enjoy materially, you need to forget Krishna, otherwise you cannot enjoy. Unless you are misidentified your body, then only you can enjoy. If you otherwise you can't enjoy. So even just to enjoy, you have to forget Krishna. People it's like people trying to find so many ways to enjoy here, and they still get frustrated. People go to in the summer days coming now, people go on the beaches. Also people go on the beaches and stay there for ages. No knowledge of Krishna. We have these music festivals. The summer is coming. So every music festival will have all these drinks and drugs and all, and they die from overdose. But they're just forgetting Krishna. They don't have that knowledge. We are so fortunate to at least we have that knowledge, or at least we are trying to understand. I shouldn't say that we have that knowledge, but through our shastra we are trying to understand. So for all this requires false identification with body and extended family. So this other types of false ego is nationalism. People say I'm Indian, like no, it's like we become so happy when India won this Champions Trophy yesterday. Like they become so happy. The worldwide India celebrated. But that is all identifying ourselves. That is all misidentification. Like I said, this is under the guise of nationalism. Like no nationalism. Like when the Prabhupada met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj the first time in 1922. He met first time, and that time Prabhupada was very much involved or very much influenced towards the Mahatma Gandhi's that movement for freedom of freeing the country. So he was very much nationalist like that time. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj told him the same thing like no. This our material situation. They'll keep changing. They'll come and go. But this Krishna consciousness is our eternal. Is eternal, and Krishna consciousness cannot wait like that. So he says this is a false identification. You're identifying yourself with a nationality like you're Indian, and you're trying to do something based on that. But this is all false identification. Our only true identification is we are part and partial. We are Ansha of the Lord, and our duty is to serve the Lord. Our duty of the Ansha is to serve the whole. So that is our duty. That's the only right identification. That is the only correct identification. All this so-called nationalism and all that, this is all false. So like sometimes you find this very old people, and they're involved in all this politics and nationalism and this and that. Like now, need to try to tell them like no, this time is ticking. The time may come any time. Like no, this is your time is you don't have much time, and you're still doing all that. Like no, this is but yeah, but most of the time you find they don't understand, because that's the kind of conditioning. Like even in the devotee circles, like even the devotee circle, the false ego can be, you can see the false ego in our dealings, even in the devotee circles, because we are all in our path we are on the journey. We are journey to purify ourselves. We are in the journey to self. We are not self-realized yet. So we are in that process. We still have that false ego and we see that in our dealings. Like now, when someone, you go to the temple and someone wants to correct you, and see how you react. Like now, this is even while accepting the orders from temple authorities, or accepting our criticism by the other devotees. Like now, this is, and especially like now, if you are criticized about your core strength, if someone's core strength is cooking, and someone comes and comments on your cooking life, or then you, that hurts your ego most, because that is your identification, where you are a good cook, or you are a good preacher, or you are a good manager, or you are good in this, you are a good book distributor. And if you have that is your core identification, that is your core strength. If someone criticizes you for that hurts our ego the most. Like, but if you are not in something good, like someone is not a good singer, and if someone criticizes, okay, yeah, you did not sing very well, yeah, like I'm not a good singer, so he won't care that much. But if someone criticizes your core strength, then you become like, no, really, that hurts your ego. And then who's criticizing? It depends on who's criticizing. Like if your senior devotees are criticizing, you may tolerate his senior devotee and I should listen to him. But if there's someone at the same level as you, your peers are criticizing you, that's very hard to digest. And think about if someone junior than you, like someone who is a newer devotee, and we have been in Krishna consciousness for 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, but someone like coming, just started coming in last 6 months, and if he criticizes you, then think about what happens. That hurts your ego most, and then you'll see your reaction like, no, heaven will fall or hell will break like now. So they say that becomes a big issue then. So this is because we are not at that level yet. Mayam juyati. So one must sacrifice this false ego. And how to, what is solution for it? Always like think about what Krishna, Ankulene Krishna, Krishna anu anushila nam bhakti ruchyate. So what is best for Krishna's service? If you keep that is one sentence always in your thought process, what is best for, if even someone criticizes you, but if your thought process is whatever, what is the best for Krishna's service, then you will take you'll react correctly, rightly, or you take a right decision. Instead of placing ourselves, placing our skill or our activity, just replace it with what is best for Krishna, Ankulena Krishna, what is like favorable to our devotional service, what is favorable to pleasing the Lord. But ultimately, the goal is to please the Lord. So if we come across those scenarios, the best thing is to think like, no, what is best for the Lord's service, or what is the best for pleasing the Lord. Srila Prabhupada in 1967, like, no, and we can learn this from Srila Prabhupada in 1960. He was in San Francisco that time, and he had some heart palpitations, like his heart palpitations, and it was in public holiday, and they were not able to find the doctors, like, no. So finally they found a doctor, and the doctor was drunk, like the doctor was a drunken doctor. He was drunk, but they couldn't find anyone else. He brought the doctor, and the doctor, he examined Prabhupada and everything, and then finally he said, "Oh, this old man is praying too much." And he said, like, a couple of times, "This old man is praying too much. There's no problem. He needs some exercise in front of," and right in front of Srila Prabhupada. He's saying that this old man is praying too much, and he needs some exercise. Yeah, and he should, yeah, it tells Prabhupada, yeah, you should go for the morning walk. And Srila Prabhupada did not react to it. Like, see, he did not react to it. He saw that. He saw that this is an instruction coming from Krishna. And because he said, yes, this is an instruction coming from Krishna, and I should be more active, or be doing some exercise or walking. I should be more active, because we have to keep our body healthy so that we can serve the Lord. That's, Srila Prabhupada can see that. Although this doctor had no qualification, he was drunk, and he was like, had no qualification. He was like 10 non-qualifications, like, no, he had no authority to say, criticize Prabhupada or instruct Prabhupada, but Prabhupada accepted that as an instruction of Krishna. So this is, we should also learn from that how we should react or how should change our thought process when dealing with other devotees. Body, and the another instance, like Satswarup Maharaj. Satswarup Maharaj was in the temple and chanting, and there was one new devotee, that's very new, neophyte devotee, new devotee came, and he told him, like, Maharaj, you're not chanting rightly, like you should be more attentive in your chanting. So this is, and he left. He said this and he left. And Satsuru Maharaj was like, he heard that, he did not say anything, he did not even chastise this devotee. He started chanting a little more attentively. So did not chastise the devotee. So this is like, how we should learn from this, how we should take our some criticism, or like someone chastisement from others, like. So this is other point what Prabhupada is talking about here in this verse is giving that analogy of two birds, like two birds, and this is this an analogy of two birds sitting on the same tree, and one bird is enjoying the fruits of the tree, Another bird is witnessing. So, Upadrashta, Anumanta, Cha, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. So this is, Lord says that I'm the witnessing bird, like that. So I'm witnessing, I'm Upadrashta, Anumanta. So Lord, there's two birds sitting on a tree, and tree of our body. One is super soul, other one is soul, other is super soul. Soul is us, and we are busy enjoying the fruits of the tree. And we're not even looking at that witnessing bird, the super soul. The bird is enjoying the fruit, and it's not looking at the other bird, which is the witnessing bird, which is the Lord Himself. And the moment we start looking, the moment we start looking at the witnessing bird or the super soul, and then we realize that he's our friend, he's our well-wisher, he's the Lord, and then we surrender to him, and then our bhakti, process of bhakti starts. But as long as this bird is completely engaged, busy, enjoying the fruits of that tree, is completely away, or turned away. He's away from this. He's not even looking at that super soul or the other bird, the witnessing bird. This is this analogy comes from Kathopanishad. The Srimad Bhagvatam, also 10th canto, there is a nice verse in this 10th canto. I think it's second chapter, the prayers of demigods. Prayers of demigods. This verse comes. So this verse is nicely compiled. Like this is Eka Yano So Dvifalas Trimula Chaturas Panchvidha Sadatma Sapt Tattva Gashta Videpo Navaksho Dasak Chadi Dvikhago Hyadi Vriksha. It says, so this verse is comparing, is giving like 1 to 10. So this comparing this body as a tree, Adi Vriksha. He says this is Adi Vriksha, this is the original tree. And Eka, this body has been compared with a Vriksha, with a tree, and said it's an Adi Vriksha. And what are the characteristics here? So this Adi Vriksha has Eka, is one trunk. Is one trunk, means one body. Dvifalas, like there's a two fruits of this body. What are the two fruits in this tree, or tree of this body? The two fruits, two types of fruits this tree has, and this tree of this body has two types of fruits, which are happiness and distress, sukh or dukkha. These are two fruits in this body, and three trivid mula, or trimulas. Trimulas. There are three roots. And what this tree has got? Three roots, like that. And what are those three roots? They are three modes of material nature. So, Chaturrasa is a Chaturasha. Chaturasha is a four rasa. Through this body, we are enjoying, or we are trying to enjoy this Chaturasha, the four tastes. And what are the four tastes? Our four kinds of activities: Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. And there's a Panchvidha, and there are five ways we are trying to Panchvidha, means with these five senses, we're trying to enjoy this four tastes or four activities. And those are five senses, or knowledge acquiring senses. So using those knowledge acquiring senses, we are trying to taste these four kinds of activities. So then six circumstances we go through. So all this we are experiencing while trying to do this. We are going through the six circumstances. What are the six circumstances? Lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst. Saptaktva, 7 layers, and after the sixth, number seven layer. So this tree is covered by 7 layers, and the 7 layers in the body, all this our bone, blood, muscle, fat, bone marrow and semen and all that. Is the 7 layers. This body is covered, and then 8 branches. 8 branch. This tree had got tree of body got 8 branches, and those 8 branches are 5 bhumi rapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankaritiyam me bhinna praktirasthada. Those are 8 branches like now. So, and 9 holes this body has got. We all know that the body has got 9 holes, and they say this verse says 10 kinds of leaves. This tree of body has got 10 kinds of leaves, and those leaves are 10 kinds of airs. Those are the prana, pana, saman, udan. Those 10 types of airs passing in the body. And then this verse says dvikhaga adi vraksha. At the end, it says dvikhaga. There are 2 khaga is pakshi, birds. There are 2 birds sitting on that trees, and that is the Bhagavatam saying that 2 birds sitting on that tree is a soul and super soul. When the enjoying, the bird who's busy in enjoying, that bird starts looking towards the witnessing bird, then our bhakti starts. So this is, and then they used the word. So this verse is saying like this is virmet. One should virmet is viram. Viram is like to stop. Viram is to stop. So one should retire. Virmet means one should retire after analyzing that this material world is an illusion. And once you know that this is an illusion, you should come to level of self-realization. And once you are at the level of self-realization, then what you should do? Virmet. You should retire from this material duties, and we should retire from material duties and take pleasure in the self. Take pleasure in the self, like that Avadut Brahman, who are lying, who are completely dependent on the Lord, and he was retired from his material activities, like he was not and he was completely dependent on the Lord, and just remembering the Lord and taking pleasure in himself. So that's Arjuna. So this is so we are Lord is like Lord has. We should understand like this. This is the mood of the Lord. Mood of the Lord. This is Lord wants us to come back. Like so Lord is very eager for us to get back. Like, and we see that this example story of Gop Kumar. Gop Kumar, when he goes back to the spiritual world, and Lord's like runs and comes to meet him, like uh, he Lord gives him like hugs him, like, and Lord they both get fainted. Lord gets fainted, and when he comes back, his consciousness comes back. He says, "I've been waiting for you so many lifetimes. Like, I thought you were going to come in this lifetime, but you did not come. I thought you'll come in the last lifetime. You did not come. Now, so you have come now." Lord becomes so happy. Lord is so eager. That is the anxiety of the Lord. That is the anxiety of the Lord. He wants us to come back home, come back like we are lost children. It's like Lord has the similar anxiety like we would have if we lose our son or daughter. Like, so Krishna is always thinking about how can I get this soul back home. He is our Suhrat Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Santim Rakshati. He is always thinking about that. How can we get the soul back like now? And Krishna has plan for everyone. So it's like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, at the end of the Chaitanya Charitamrita in Adi Leela, the Lord is like expressing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing his anxiety to Haridas Thakur. He's talking to Haridas Thakur, and he's saying like, how can, and his anxiety was, how can I how can I take back these suffering souls to back to spiritual world? And he was not only worried about the human beings, he was worried about the trees and animals and everything, all these living entities. And he was asking Haridas, please give me a solution. How can I deliver them? How can I deliver one like now, all living entities. And Haridas Thakur he says loud chanting. He says when we chant loudly, that the trees and all these animals around us, or insects and small and big, all type of animals, they hear that chanting. And it's all our chanting, just echo from trees, that is chanting. Even trees can get delivered uh, by receiving that sound vibration of the holy names of the Lord. So this is the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and uh, this is so we should. This is what is going on in Krishna's mind. Thought process of Krishna is his mind is always working on how can I bring these souls back. Lord is so merciful, like no. Ajamil chanted just once, and his intention was not even to remember the Lord, like no. Still, Lord thought that is even this accidental chanting or nama bhas, reflection of chanting. But Lord thought this is my duty to protect this person now because he has taken my name. So this is Haridas Thakur says the Milecha, even Yavan, the Milecha, when they say haram, when they haram, the word haram has a ram in it, so they get benefit, like they get benefit of chanting the holy name. Same thing like any, even if it's not Ra and Ma or any Krishna, if not coming together, it's not coming together, still the person get benefit. It's like if you say, someone says Guru Gram, or like with the now in Delhi, the Gurgaon is called Guru Gram now. So there's a Guru Gram. It's a the Guru Gram also has the Ram in it, will get the benefit of chanting the holy name. Lord is so merciful, like no. So he's giving that benefit of chanting, even even our intention, or we are just doing nama bhas or reflection of chant holy name. We are not we're not even we're not even thinking about the Lord, but we're taking the name, material names, and if that has the name, holy name, we still get the benefit. So this is the mercy of the Lord. The Lord is ready to protect. He's our real friend. He's like so this is what we speak of the residents of Vrindavan. It is in the Govardhan pastime. So in the Govardhan pastime, everyone approached the Lord when the rains started, and like Lord thought process was, they are my family, they are my devotees. Lord is thinking, Gopai Atma Yogena. How can I protect them by my Atma Yogena? Soham me vrat ahata. That is my vrata. That is the vow I have taken, that Konteya Pratjanihi Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, that I'm going to protect my devotees. This is this is the nature of the Supreme Lord. So he is not only the witness bird in our heart, but he's not only witnessing our activities in our heart. Super soul is not only witnessing the the activities of the soul, but is looking towards us, like when we will turn towards him and ask for the help, and he's ready to help. So moment we show some interest, Lord will start helping. So that's oh, I'm over time. I did not realize that. Sorry for that. And I'll stop here. Thank you very much for your time. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
जय, आप सभी भक्तजनों की जय. Sorry for I went over time. That's
no problem, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this nectar class and so nice explanation. But so many wonderful things, Prabhuji. So we also didn't realize the time.
yeah.
Hare Krishna. So if anybody has any question, please go ahead and ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all great Sister Prabhupada.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. So it's such a nice class, reflecting upon and the priorities in our life, and Narmuni also putting it so nicely about what is the priority, that we have misplaced priorities in the material world, and you explain it in so nice ways. Yes, in the bhakti part section, Krishna says, right, that in the chapter 12, the first one is Maya Manohadasva, my buddhim nivesa. So that is the first thing. Even if he is not, I mean, it's good that we are bhajana, we are Goshtyanandi. But yeah, but bhajan should be the primary. I mean, without bhajan, nothing happens. I mean, okay, somebody may climb gradually go up with the service, but ultimately it should result in the bhajan.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, it is said that Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smarnam.
Yeah.
The goal of Sravanam and Kirtanam is to remember the Lord continuously.
Yes.
So whatever we do, if it does not result in increased smarnam of the Lord, then we are not on the right track.
Yes.
So this is the whole thing. So Sravanam by Sravanam we get more utsah to serve, and then we do Kirtanam, and then we get remembrance. Like that should result into the remembrance of the Lord. Goal is to remember the Lord. Always remember the Lord. Never forget the Lord. Right. So increase our remembrance. Whatever service we are doing, whether we're cooking or cleaning the temple or whatever we're doing, our consciousness, if we're not thinking about, then so that should be the goal, to increase our remembrance. So.
Yes. I mean, yeah, just like explained it nicely, Prabhuji. Thank you for the nice class and very nice association and purifying association.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Always good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I all because of your all Vaishnava mercy, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this all we are, but a little bit we are trying to advance together. So we need to support each other. Like Hare Krishna. Anyone else or?
I just Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to thank you for a wonderful class. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, all wishes to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Nikunjaraj Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, really we did not realize the time was going up, but you were speaking and the flow was continuous, so it was really a good nectar today. Yeah.
Usually I keep the watch in front of me, but today somehow I did not have that. So otherwise
so. But thank you for that, Prabhuji. Like we even never thought we did not see the time, so it was really good to hear you. Nice thoughts. And one thing you mentioned about Srila Prabhupada, I don't have a question on that, but want to check with you. Maybe you are aware of that. Like you mentioned, Prabhupada was told by doctor that he was maybe not sick, but Prabhupada is doing so much seva or prayers, is that you mentioned, correct, Prabhuji?
No. It's this comes in the Leela Amrit.
Okay.
In Prabhupada Leela Amrit, there is a chapter on that. And this story comes in that, and it says that was a material doctor. He was not a devotee doctor.
Okay.
So he was a material doctor. They could not find anyone. The devotees brought some doctor it was the evening time. The doctor was completely drunk. He was at his home, and they brought him. Prabhupada is having some heart palpitations. So they brought him. So that doctor commented. He was not a devotee. He was a completely material, material.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So I just want to know, was that the time when Prabhupada decided to go to Vrindavan? Then was that the time when Prabhupada really decided now I should go to Vrindavan?
No, it was during the early stage. It was in 1967.
Okay, it was early stage. Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, it was like very when 1967. So it was very early stage, like
So that was the start in New York.
Right. Yeah, that was an starting like no. So Prabhupada arrived here in 65 and then 67. So 2 years when they started that San Francisco temple around that time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good to know about that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So basically, at that time, Prabhupada actually took it as an indication from Lord Krishna that he should take care of the body, right?
Right. The Prabhupada took it as this is the instruction coming from Krishna through the doctor. Right.
So how should we put it in our lives? Like everything that comes in our life, how do we, the viveka we have to have, right? That this is coming from the Lord or not. I mean,
something like all the if someone is giving you good advice and you think like this is so if other devotees and they are giving you some good advice, instead of the point we were trying to make is we should not feel as if like someone is criticizing you or someone is like commenting on your or criticizing you. If the advice is good and you can improve yourself, that will help you in your Krishna consciousness or serving the Krishna better, or it will help you in pleasing the Krishna, or it's favorable to in your Krishna consciousness, then you should take it in a right or in a positive way, like. So that was the point we were trying to make, and that's so sometimes what happens if some junior devotee comes and gives you advice, we feel hurt, like we feel say like this is a new devotee just started coming in last few months and now I've been here for 30 years and he's telling me what to do or what not to do, right? So that was the point we're trying to make, that we should not think that way. We should think what is if this advice is helping me to improve my bhakti or improve my service or please Krishna more, and then we should take it positively and we should thank him for the advice instead of feeling hurt, right?
Yeah.
That is the idea.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right, thank you. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Panchakalpatarusha Kripa Sindhu cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.
Brahmacharya Shrilas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Granthiraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Vrindavan Vijay Prabhu ki jai. Thank
Jai.
you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hari
Bol.
bol.
Hari
Hari bol.
Bol.
Hari bol.